UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions made here.
Welcome back to UCLA Bruin Talk. Once again, we want to thank Stacey Terry for joining us last segment. Before we talk men's volleyball, Javrina has the Athlete of the Week.
This week, we honor Vanessa Zamarripa as our Student Athlete of the Week. Vanessa of the UCLA Gymnastics team was recently selected as the UCLA Muscle Milk Student Athlete of the Week for January 20th through the 25th. Vanessa scored a perfect 10 on vault at Cal State Fullerton, becoming the first gymnast in the nation this year to record a perfect mark on vault and becoming the first UCLA gymnast to score a 10 on an even event since 2006. Vanessa now ranks #1 in the nation on vault. In addition to her perfect 10 on vault, she also claimed first place honors on uneven bars in meets against Cal State Fullerton and California. She recorded a career high of 39.5 in all-around against the Golden Bears. Her scores had helped her team achieve season-high team scores. Congratulations and good luck to Vanessa and the rest of the team. If you would like additional information about UCLA athletics, you can call our fan phone line at 310-825-8575 or visit us on our website at www.uclabruins.com.
Well, DJ Stromath and Nick Vogel are both quick hitters for the UCLA men's volleyball team. The season's well underway, and the Bruins are looking for their 20th national championship. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Nothing like having national championships hanging over your head, but that's what playing at UCLA and volleyball is all about.
Yeah, I mean, this program is just really prestigious, and you know, it's great playing for UCLA and Skates, and I mean, I love the program, so it's good to be here.
And Nick, you're a freshman, again, coming in, it's like, whoa, I'm just trying to get started here in college, and you're already talking about national championships.
Yeah, it's definitely intense. You jump right in, but so far it's been a lot of fun, and it's been great being involved with people like DJ who've been in the program for so long, and just being able to try and follow in everybody's footsteps and continue the tradition.
Now, obviously, that's the ultimate goal for the season, but is that really brought up and mentioned from the start of practice, or is it something that just kind of lingers there in the background?
Well, I think definitely from the very beginning on, I mean, everything you do, you train, you practice, everything that you do for volleyball is for the ultimate goal of a national championship. That's what we're going for the entire time. So.
And Nick, being a freshman, can you tell us a little bit, what made your decision to come to UCLA?
You know, it all happened really quickly for me. You know, being involved with volleyball and stuff like that just kind of snowballed, and it got me to UCLA, which was absolutely incredible. And just the combination of incredible academics, incredible athletics, a wonderful school with a ton of people, you know, still staying close to home, but being far enough away to be on my own, it all fell into place.
Well, I'd imagine that both of you are from Southern California, growing up playing volleyball whenever you start playing. The fact is, UCLA's interested, you were interested in playing there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was, you know, UCLA, once I came here and they recruited me, I knew I had to go. I mean, it's just academics, the team, just all the athletics are just really good. So, I mean, UCLA was a lock for me to go. So.
Nick, same for you. I mean, once they were interested, was that pretty much decision made?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a significant factor, just the fact of them, you know, contacting you or anything like that. Being remotely interested is, you know, just an honor to hear about and stuff like that. So it was definitely, you know, a big help for them to say that we'd like you to come here.
DJ, your dad actually played football for Nebraska. How did you get involved in volleyball?
Well, growing up in Southern California, just living by the beach. I'm from Manhattan Beach. I've grown up in the South Bay my whole life. I started playing in like 7th grade, and I played basketball and volleyball, and football was always kind of there, but I was never really pushed to play. My parents wanted me to play, whatever I wanted, and so once I started playing volleyball, I started getting recruited, and it just kind of like it seemed like the option for me, and I stopped playing basketball, and volleyball was my one sport. And I still love football, and I support Nebraska and UCLA. But volleyball, I enjoy playing it. So, and I'm here and loving life. So.
Well, and you're not the only one in the family playing volleyball either.
Yeah, that's right. My older sister, she played at Loyola Chicago, and she graduated, and then she played professional in the Netherlands, and then my younger sister's at Tulane right now playing volleyball. So.
And now for Nick, you didn't start playing until high school. In fact, not even at the start of high school, your sophomore year.
Correct. It was just one of those things where a few people mentioned, hey, you should play volleyball, just like, hey, you should play basketball, hey, you should high jump, all that kind of stuff when they look at the height of people like us. And it was tennis season in high school, so it was not really an option for me freshman year. And then the more I started thinking about it, the more people started mentioning it, stuff like that. By the time I got to sophomore year, we figured out a way to balance and do both. So I was able to get 2 sports in one season. So it was a little hectic, but it was definitely a good decision. I'm happy with the decision to play volleyball. So,
DJ, you actually redshirted your freshman year. Then you made a couple of appearances the next 2 years. This year, you started in 24 games. What made this development?
Well, originally, like, I came in as a red shirt, and then I kind of didn't really see the court that much my freshman year, my redshirt freshman year. And I just kept working hard at it, I was determined, I wanted to play, I came here for a reason, and kept working, and I got it. My 3rd year, I didn't really play that much still, and I was kind of like on the down and out, but then the next year I was like, I made a point to like, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna play this year. I got my opportunity, and I went in and I did well, and then so last year I started most of the year, and then this year, I got competition from this guy and all the other freshmen and the sophomores. It's just UCLA is all about putting the best players on the court. So when you have like freshmen and sophomores that are as good as you or better, you just want to work hard to see the court. So.
Well, that's a tradition here at UCLA in terms of volleyball. Is there's tons of talent, and in a lot of ways, the biggest competitions you'll face are what goes on in practice just to try to see the game floor.
Yeah, I know firsthand. I came in here, and you always have to work and try to get your spot. And so this year we have, I'm the only senior, but there's 2 freshmen and 1 sophomore. We're all competing for spots, and that's just what Coach Skates is all about. That's what the program's always been about. Some of the best players have come here and never seen the court and quit, or some of them have come here, seen the court, and played. That's just what this program's about.
DJ, do you have what are your future plans?
It's a good question. Well, there's always, going overseas and playing, but, I'm looking at jobs right now, and, going to see if I get some interviews, and, it's a tough economy, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I know that one thing our prior guest, Stacey Terry from the women's basketball team said was, if you have the opportunity to play, she recommended just attack it, because, the fact is you can imagine, you just don't get the chance to compete anymore. And I'm sure that after what you've gone through, the gauntlet of just trying to make the floor at UCLA, almost anything is possible.
Yeah, going abroad and playing is something I've always, thought about, because it's just, it's a good opportunity, and if it's there, I'm going to do it, So, yeah, it's definitely my future.
Now, coming into UCLA as a freshman, having to go and play for Al Skates, legend, the winningest volleyball coach ever. What is that like?
He's obviously an incredible coach, but once you get to practice and you have little side conversations with him, and you start to get to know him, you see how he relates to his team and stuff like that. It's not that nerve-wracking. He's just a great coach. He relates to his players really well, and so he makes you feel comfortable on the court.
Is it intense, the practices, and is it intense because of him or just because of the talent?
Yeah, practices, if everybody's bringing it, it's pretty intense, and he sits back and lets us play, but if we're doing something wrong, or he'll let us know. We each have individual things to work on, things to work on as a team, and yeah, you know, I mean, every day we come in and you're competing, you know, against the other team, but also each other. I mean, it's, you know, that's just how it is. So yeah, it gets pretty intense.
If I can jump in real quick on that, one of the things that really stuck with me when I was talking to coaches and things like that, not just what Coach Skates said, but what other coaches said about Skates as a coach in the program, the hardest team that we should face every year is the team across from the net from us at practice every single day. We have, you know, so much talent at a school like this and so much desire to play and so much ambition that, you know, you should have the fight of your life every single day at practice, and it should be a competition for, you know, being on that other side of the court so that you can start the next game.
I'd imagine then that makes it almost impossible to go into a game flat.
Yeah.
Because if you've got to go into practice every day thinking mentally, you know, compete, then once it gets to game day, I mean, that must be a given.
Yeah, game day is interesting. When you know, going in there, and some guys will get taken out of the games and you'll go in, you know, just cold, and you'll have no warning or whatever. Coach Skates looks at statistics, and if guys aren't cutting it, you're going to go straight into the game. And, you know, for me at first, that was like a shocker, and I couldn't, like, you know, like, it took me a while to, like, you know, become comfortable with it. But, you know, that's when you can make your shot, and, you know, if he sees that you do well in the games, like, you're going to get, you know, probably get the starting position. So
I know that you guys, when women's volleyball is playing, I know you guys dress up for their matches. Do you guys have any special rituals when it comes to your game day?
Bruin's on a warpath.
Yeah, well, we watch video. That's a ritual. I mean, no. But yeah, we do you know, when the other team is doing their hitting lines, we go and do the locker room, and we do a chant, and we jump around, and we get pretty pumped up for the match, and we just chant Bruin's on a warpath. So
It's probably would be surprising though to people because they think of volleyball as being a laid-back beach sport, and not the case here.
Oh yeah, people think that, but you know, I mean, we get intense, and you know, there's a lot. You know, we like to get fired up just as any other sport. So.
Now, one thing that has changed over recent decades in men's volleyball is the growth of the sport. I mean, volleyball in a lot of places has always been seen as a women's sport. And in fact, as recently as 1994, there had not been a national champion from outside the West Coast. In fact, I think San Diego State was the most inland national champion that had been up until that point. Have you noticed the growth in terms of players coming from around the country that you're like, how did you start playing volleyball there?
Yeah, definitely. Volleyball's grown so much. On the international level, volleyball's pretty big. In Southern California, it started growing, and now, you know, across the nation, it's pretty big. I think the indoor men's winning the gold medal this past summer, and just Misty May and Carrie Walsh winning gold, and you know, that on the beach, I think that's like definitely made the sport grow, and just more people recognize it and see that it's a legitimate sport. I mean, people are playing it, it's very popular, and you know, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
What are the responsibilities of a quick hitter in a match, during a match?
You know, they emphasize quick hitter, or middle blocker as they call it. Definitely one of the big things in this program is blocking. You have to be, you know, you have to be big and tall, but you also have to be able to move very quickly. You have to move your feet fast, and you know, it seems like you're doing the most work on the court most of the time. I mean, you're back and forth along the net. You know, when we get the ball, we have to be ready to hit in, you know, half the time that the other guys do, because we have lower sets, and it all has to be quicker. And for the big guys to be quick, it can be kind of a challenge sometimes.
All right, well, guys, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Again, we want to thank UCLA women's basketball assistant Stacey Terry, as well as Nick and DJ for joining us here for UCLA Bruin Talk. For Javrina Seferai, I'm Ralph Irvin. We'll see you next time right here for UCLA Bruin Talk.
Goodbye.